that, man. He's still doing what he's doing when he was in San Francisco. And what do you think about those random drug tests that he was getting? Like, he was saying that he took like over 12 or 15 of them. I know some former NFL players said that's like the norm.
Yeah, a few players actually said that they were tested as well, who also were quote unquote overly tested, that claimed they were overly tested because of the protest affiliation. But the league tried to say that it wasn't because of that. It's purely random. OBJ said he got tested like 8 times this year or something. I don't know. I really don't like to bring up racial things, but it's not like a white player came out of nowhere and said, "Oh, I was tested 8-9 times this year." Kind of seems like it was all one select group, but it is what it is. They all passed, so oh well.
I'm a big conspiracy theorist, and I think the NFL, I think they did that shit on purpose with Gary Reed, because they obviously, I don't think they want him in the NFL. I think they tried to do the same thing that they did to Kaepernick with him, and but it didn't really work on that end. And I think that they did the over testing with him, and I think they tried to kind of like mask it by testing other notable players as well, just to kind of like mask it a little bit. I don't know, that's just my theory on that one there. But shout out to Eric Reed, man. He deserved his money. I'm glad he got re-signed to a nice big contract there, so shout out to Eric Reed. All right, and then the other news that came out yesterday, well, 2 options here, two additional topics. One, Antonio Brown officially requested a trade from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he did so. By the way, that's per Adam Schefter, and he did so by making a Twitter post quoting, and I quote, "Thank you, Steelers Nations, for a big 9 years. Time to move on and forward," with the deuces emoji, hashtag new demands. And then there was a video of his highlights, and then with the video, Lil Uzi Vert song "Now I Do What I Want" is playing over it. So officially official, Antonio Brown.
Oh, goddamn.
Antonio Brown requesting a trade from Pittsburgh after 9 years. There's been a lot of riffraff going on. It seems like every year is some bullshit going. What's your thoughts on that, man? First of all, do you think Pittsburgh is going to move him? And then second of all, to what team do you think he's going to be moved to?
Well, he's still got 3 years left on his contract, so I'm not fully sure what's the incentive for the Brown for them to move Brown. Quite honestly, outside of the fact that he doesn't want to be there, supposedly, you can sit down for 3 years. Oh well. Go ahead. Go ruin your career. Go waste the last bit of your 20s and early part of your 30s not doing anything. Okay. You see what they did with Le'Veon Bell. They have no problem letting a premier player go and chill out and live their best life while not getting no money. So he's got 3 years left. They can sit on him for 2, trade him at the last one, whatever they want to do. In the event that they do respect his wishes outside of Le'Veon Bell's and get rid of him, it'd be interesting. I don't see it being a team in the AFC. I definitely don't see it being a team in the division. It will probably be a weird team that'll step up, that'll somehow miraculously have the stuff to get them. I think Seattle might be a good spot. Seattle would be a good place for him. I was hearing Colin Hurd talk about this a few weeks ago, and he was saying that he needs to go to a place where the head coach isn't stern or too strict, and he was basically saying how Tomlin's, the player type coach, and he shouldn't be going to a place where it's an opposite. because he's the ultimate diva and all this stuff. You know, plenty of stories that come out about his divaness and I'm the man. Everybody has to respect me, blah, 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 and all that stuff. So, you know, people like Carroll or Pete Carroll or Kyle Shanahan, those people are not those types. Those are the more, you know, abrupt leaders. So those places for the head coach wouldn't be good, as in Seattle and San Francisco. But I like him in Seattle. I like him in San Francisco. I'm not too sure of. I haven't really dug too deep in it, quite honestly, to think about where else he should go. But for me, those two spots would be pretty fantastic.
All right, so with Pittsburgh, to answer your question, the incentive I think that to trade him is A, he doesn't want to be there, and B, yes, he's under contract for 3 years, but if he's not showing up, like he's still got like guaranteed money on that deal. So basically, you'll be paying him to not play, and I think Pittsburgh will try to get him off their books if they can. And if you can get some value for him, because, you know, Juju Smith-Schuster, to me, he has number one potential. He put up very good numbers last year. And, you know, of course, some of that is contributed to having Antonio Brown on the opposite end of him, you know, who's a top 5, top 3 receiver in this league. So he definitely gets more one-on-one looks.
And an offense that can get a 1,000-yard runner out of anybody.
And then you still have, you know, a Hall of Fame quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger. So I think, you know, Pittsburgh, in my opinion, I think they do move on from him, as they should. It's just like over the last couple of years, you get this drama. And I talked about this on a podcast like about a month ago, where like Antonio Brown.
Golly.
Antonio Brown this situation is kind of reminding me of Terrell Owens, in the sense of when T.O. was with San Francisco, and, you know, he kept, you know, putting up, he's a productive player, but it's just always just the distractions, the in the locker room distractions, and it's always something coming out from the media, and, you know, he's making a trade request and doesn't want to be there, and ultimately, you know, the team gets fed up with it and decides to move on. So, now in terms of Pittsburgh, I think they should trade him. I think they will trade him. And then in terms of the teams I think he goes to, I think San Fran would be a good fit. So the team that's going to trade for him, first of all, you got to have the draft capital to get him. And I think San Francisco will be a good team for him. I think like a second and maybe like a third rounder, because they got a pretty high second. So a second and a third rounder can get him. The New York Jets, I think that's another team to be on the lookout for. I like that Seattle pick. That'd be something interesting. So yeah, I want to know, like, what would you give up for him? He's about to be 31 years old, or if he isn't 31 right now, do you think he's worth the first round pick?
He's over 30 now?
I think he's either 30 or 31. Actually, I'll look it up. But yeah, what would you give up for him?
What would I give up for the best route running receiver in the NFL?
He's turning 31 July 10th.
Oh, yeah, so he is 30. Oh, okay. So he's under contract until he's 33. Yeah. In today's NFL, probably a third in a player. That sounds justifiable.
You think he garners anything bigger than that? Do you think a team would give up a first rounder?
See, Austin Cooper was a first round pick trade.
Amari.
Yeah, see? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Amari was he was a first round pick trade, but he's 24?
Yeah, Amari Cooper is still very young.
And he's just got cases of dropsies. Other than that, I mean, he's a very good receiver.
When he got to the Cowboys, he literally turned that team around. He balled out.
Yeah, so, but he's worth a lot of money. He's over 30. He's literally going to do nothing but trend downward. I mean, yeah, as far as a draft selection, I don't see him being worth the same as Amari Cooper. I'm not saying that he's not a more talented receiver than Amari Cooper. That'd just be silly.
Blasphemous.
Yeah, but I would definitely say, as far as a GM should be concerned, if they're saying first round and nothing else, or first and second, or second and a starting, I don't know, guard or something, like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm thinking a team will send a second rounder to Pittsburgh. I think like a second and fourth get it done. I think like a 2/3 and a third next year or something like that will get it done. So like, he's 30 years old. He's turning 31. He's been the most productive receiver in the league over the last 5-6 years. He's been dominating, top 3 receiver still. And yeah, he's getting older, and I don't see anything slowing down for him. I think he remains on that same trajectory, but like you said, he's not going to get better from this point forward.
Right. If
anything, he's gonna get worse, just based on the age factor. And I agree with you as well. I don't think he garners a first round pick like Amari Cooper did, just because of the age factor. But in terms of like the production, if I'm a contending team in need of a wide receiver, that has a quarterback in need of a wide receiver, then I think that's something that you got to take a look at. Or if you're like a young upcoming team and you think like a receiver could help one of your younger quarterbacks take that next step, then I think you go ahead and pull that trigger for him, because not Antonio Browns don't come around too often where he's been great. You look at his stats over the last few years, he's been the most productive receiver in the NFL. So
that's true. The only thing the last thing I got to say about this is just that I don't think a team needs a great or an elite, or what I say. I don't think a team needs an elite wide receiver to win a Super Bowl. So I'm not sure if I'm a contending team, a legitimate contending team, that I would try to get him. Unless the core is that bad that they need him to make their core end up being good or an above average core. Wide receivers, while they are spectacular, great to watch, highlight plays each and every game, they don't provide chips. So that's just one thing to look at.
Yeah, very fair point. All right, and then the last thing here, the last news that broke yesterday, Kyler Murray, even though he announced it previously, but official, saying that he's going to be fully committed, quote, to playing football instead of playing baseball for the Oakland A's. And then he released a statement saying, I am firmly and fully committing, this is a quote, by the way, I am firmly and fully committing my life and time to becoming an NFL quarterback. Football has always been my love and passion my entire life. I was raised to play quarterback, and I very much look forward to dedicating 100% of myself to being the best QB possible and winning NFL championships. I have started an extensive training program to further prepare myself for upcoming NFL workouts and interviews. I eagerly await the opportunity to prove NFL decision makers that I am the franchise quarterback in this draft. And that was reported by Tyler Conway from Bleacher Report. Kyler Murray, man, making it officially official. What do you think? You like it?
I'm okay with the official news, I guess. It was quite common sense. I mean, he's going to make a lot more money playing football than baseball. So, I mean, I'm okay with him taking the money route over the no CTE route. So, it is what it is. Couple.
Wait. Say that again.
The non-CTE route.
What do you mean? I'm confused.
That head injury joint.
So you say he took the money route instead of the CTE route?
Instead of the non-CTE route.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping. Okay, all right. It sounded
baseball,
weird.
they don't get rattled in their head all the time and end up going crazy.
I got you.
Junior Seau and people and shit. So, yeah. I'm okay with that, man. That's a money grab, man. And he has a potential to go anywhere from the number 1 overall pick all the way down to probably like 26, 27. somewhere in the first round. He's definitely going in the first round. So I'm very happy with his decision.